here with head football coach Brian Cope of the new Lake Belton Broncos. How you doing today, Coach?
Man, I'm doing great. Tony, thanks for all that you do for high school athletics and high school football especially, and excited to be on the show.
Well, thanks, Coach. Thanks for that. Um, so let's talk a little bit about the new program. So you were the offensive coordinator at Belton. Your coach, Coach Skidmore, promoted to athletic director for the district for both schools. So meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Uh, just tell us a little bit. So you're coming over. You're very familiar with the district. You're familiar with a bunch of the kids. But what's it like starting a new program?
It is absolutely awesome. Um, we hired before Corona hit, we had hired, I believe it was 3 coaches face to face. I've done over 70 Zoom interviews. I have every coach hired except I'm down to 1 left. And I'm waiting on a test score to get done with that. It's been absolutely an awesome experience to be able to build our rise up culture and 212 and making it a really big deal and making sure our kids understand what it's been about. We actually took some time in March and April when this all started and had rise up meetings where we had them with our 9th graders and 8th graders who are going to be our first 2 classes. And rise up to us means respond, integrity, service, effort, unity, and then players make plays. And so we took some time before we even got into scheme at all and talked that with groups, small groups, for them to be able to learn that. And it's just been an awesome deal to see those kids be really, really excited about Bronco Nation and Lake Belton High School.
Now, of course, you've been a football coach for a pretty good bit of time. Worked at several different programs, but starting from scratch is different. I mean, it's everything from you're not even in your office yet.
No.
Once the kids get, you've got to figure everything out. Where's the weight room located? Where's the office? Where are the restrooms located? How do we get from here to the practice field? All that kind of stuff. You got to order the equipment, all those sorts of things. So it's not. It is a different kind of challenge.
It's. I'm really glad that we're going the way we're starting because it's what I'm most familiar with. When I graduated Cy Falls High School, I was the 3rd class, and my dad was the offensive coordinator actually there. And it started where you played 2 years of a non-UIL schedule and then played varsity football. When I went to Cy Woods and coached, it was only the 4th year of the school, and they had started that same way of 2 years and then go. Then I was at Kinsall, and we split with College Station High, and College Station High opened 2 years and go. So I'm very, very familiar with that model, which makes it, in my opinion, a great fit. And you talk about purchasing every piece of equipment. And I'm doing it for all the sports. Now our head coaches are involved, but I'm the main contact between our athletic rep. And it's been, I'll tell you this, Tony, I'm not ready to buy anything for ever again for a while once we get done with this, because it is very detailed, and you make sure that our district has a lot of this certain amount of money, and we want to make sure that every dollar is accounted for.
Very good. So you mentioned you've had a chance to talk to some of your kids. Now you're going to play non-UIL schedule for 2 years with freshmen and sophomores this year, this coming year. So tell me about some of the kids that have stood out to you. Of course, you will have seen some of them because
so our freshmen, both freshman teams at Belton High won district last year, and it is and a lot of great players are coming over. The quarterback Connor Cruz, I think, has got a great chance to be an unbelievable leader. He's a really good football, baseball kid, and we're big into our multi-sports, especially when you're playing varsity and everything else but football right now for the first 2 years. You want to make sure that you utilize those kids in all sports. Some really good leaders. I think we're going to have Connor Bartz, Tristan Robin, Connor Brennan. Then we got some talented ninth graders that are coming up, and Selman Bridges, Micah Hudson, Ty Legg, that I think are going to be really, really talented. And that's just in our skill positions. We have probably, and I could probably list about 15 linemen right now that I think are going to be key contributors just with what I've seen from the eighth graders and ninth grade class. And just people that have a mindset to outwork people. And it's going to be an awesome experience.
All right, so you're again moving from offensive coordinator at Belton to the head football coach there, building the program from scratch. It's going to be your brand. What is that? What is the Brian Cope brand? What are your teams going to hang their hat on?
I saw a quote that talked about, what is the head coach's role? I'm an offensive minded person for coaching 15 years, and 14 have been on the offensive side of the ball. So of course I'm going to have my hand in that, but ultimately I'm in charge of the culture. And when you start a new school, you're in charge of the culture of not just the football program. You're in charge of the culture for the whole athletic department in the whole campus that way. And so we're going to be a hard-nosed physical team. We're going to run right downhill at you. We're going to be multiple on offense. And of course we'll be a 3-4 defense with the ability to get into an even front quickly if necessary. But our kids are going to play with unbelievable effort. And that's what 212 means to me. At 211 degrees, water is hot. And at 212 degrees, water boils, turns into steam, and pushes the train around the tracks. And that 1 degree more, that one extra degree of effort is what it's going to be. We're going to have a 212 flag at games. We're running around. We're going to, in off season, we're not going to run 200s. We're going to run 212s. We're going to make sure that our kids understand that high school sports are not always won with the greatest players. High school sports are won with who plays with the greatest effort for the game.
Yeah, so there may be somebody that can out-talent you, but there shouldn't be anyone that can out-effort you.
And that's what I love about the kids here in Belton ISD is they are hardworking and want those opportunities to be successful.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks for your time, and best of luck with building the program. And definitely hope we get to see some football this fall.
No doubt, we're excited. It was a great deal with the UIL saying that we're going to be able to get back to our elite camp this summer, starting June 8th is a great thing, and I think it's going to be, you got to understand those kids have been doing stuff, and we've been sending workouts out, but just to be around them, you feel you can build relationships through Zoom and be able to do that, but just, man, missing those kids and that daily interaction is something, because we were doing a great job of being there and our coaches, and it's just an exciting time to be a Bronco here in Lake Belton country.
Yeah, I was just having a conversation earlier. The kids are resilient; they're used to change. As adults, maybe we're a little more resistant to change. This whole situation, I think, is harder on the teachers and the coaches than it is on the kids.
Well, it really has been, because you got to make sure that how do you form relationships with those kids over a computer? It's not the very best possible, but it's been really good for us because we've been able to have coaches meetings about what our culture is going to be like, and we took some extra time that way before getting into scheme. Because if your kids will run through, you got a brick wall behind you there in your image. If they believe in you, they'll run through a brick wall for you. But you got to get to know them first, and you got to build those relationships and how important it is, just to be step by step. And I think a big thing for us that we've always remembered is Our kids are in 8th and 9th grade right now, and making sure that we're always understanding that and not putting too much on them early, because I think that's how I've talked to a lot of coaches who've opened a new school, and all of them said, man, just be careful with how much you give those kids, because they're so young right now. When it talked about like scheme and things like that. And so we've done a really good job of managing of what we want to teach them on a weekly basis.
Very good. All right, Coach. Well, again, thanks for the time, and we'll definitely try and see your Broncos some point down the road.
Awesome, man. Well, Tony, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you and what you do for high school football across this great state.